Hello, and welcome back to the Academic Society, and welcome to day one of the Back to Grad School Challenge. I'm your host. I am Dr. Toyin Ali. I'm the creator of this channel. I'm the creator of the Academic Society, and really my mission is to help grad students have a good experience in grad school, because one of the things that I noticed when I was experiencing grad school and listening to other people talk about their grad school experience, they were miserable, right? Grad school is like a choice that we make. It's something we want to do to help us get the job that we want, to get the degree that we want, to like move forward in our next step in life. And so I fully believe that you can enjoy your grad school experience, even if it is difficult, even if it is challenging. And so what I hope to do with the Back to Grad School Challenge is to help you start the semester on the right foot so that it doesn't have to be so hard. So it doesn't have to be so challenging, and you don't have to feel miserable throughout this whole semester. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you're here live, tell me hi in the chat. I should be able to see it here. And I really just want to walk through the first prompt or the first lesson for the Back to Grad School Challenge and answer any questions you have about it. So today's prompt is all about goal setting. And I believe that goal setting at the beginning of the semester is so important because it sets the stage, it sets your intentions, and helps you decide, well, what is truly important for me right now in this semester? And it reduces like the decision fatigue and like the exhaustion that comes with trying to keep so many things in your brain when you still also have to be learning all the things that you're learning in grad school. So I want to start with goal setting because when we set goals, it becomes so valuable to us later in the semester. So inevitably, in the middle of the semester, maybe in a couple weeks, it will get so busy and so overwhelming. So let's say, for example, today, one of your big goals for this semester is to write chapter 3 of your dissertation. Let's say that that's your goal. But then 2 weeks into the semester, you are presenting at a seminar, you are doing grading as a TA, you are trying to publish this paper, and you are also teaching a class, or maybe you're tutoring. And so all of those priorities, all of those responsibilities are starting to come down on you at once. And so when you sit there and think, oh my gosh, I have so many things to do, I have no idea where to even get started because I don't want to choose the wrong thing and work and spend all of this time working on the wrong thing when it's really not going to make a big impact, when something else could have been more important. And so, what we're doing today with goal setting is we're pre choosing what our priority will be for when those overwhelming times come. And the benefit of pre-choosing right now is because you're in a low stress state. You're not as stressed. The semester hasn't really got going yet. And so in this low stress state, in this right frame of mind, calm state of mind, you have already chosen and you have decided exactly what is important to you this semester. So later on through the semester, when everything is busy and overwhelming, you know exactly what to work on. You're going to work on the thing that leads you to achieve the goal you set this week. Okay, so hi, Radiant Ruby, welcome. You said, oh, I can put the thing up here. Just graduated from my Doctorate of Occupational Therapy program. I completely agree that the experience doesn't have to be miserable. I use my planner often to organize my tasks and goals. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about goals, because in today's prompt, I asked you to write down all of your responsibilities, all of the things that you wanted to do this semester, all of your big goals for the semester. So I had you kind of brain dump all of those things. But here's the thing about that list. Not everything on that list is going to have the same level of impact or same level of importance on your overall semester. All right, so I'm asking you to only choose two of those goals to be your main focus and your main priority for the semester because it's hard to keep track and hold a bunch of goals in your head. You may make little progress on each of them, but never actually accomplish or complete the goal. Right. So, what we want to do is narrow down to just top two goals for the semester. And that doesn't mean you can't do anything else for the semester, but it does mean that when things get overwhelming, you know exactly what to go back to. You know exactly what to prioritize and what to work on first, and exactly where to spend your time. So, something that I thought would be helpful is if I shared some examples of goals that grad students in my Facebook group have set for themselves for a spring semester. All right, so I'm looking at the goals that people set during the Back to Grad School Challenge last year. And if you're here joining me, hi, welcome. Feel free to ask me questions in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so someone said, my top two goals for this semester are number one, my thesis proposal, to submit it and successfully defend it to my panel. And then number two, to start the administrative work for my data gathering activities. These are awesome goals because it's so clear exactly what this person's focus is. And so their priority is going to be doing things to help them submit their thesis proposal and to submit their administrative work. All right. Haresa, hello. Your goal says maximize lowering grad school costs. Okay. Oh, so this is your question. How did you go about seeking opportunities to lowering room and board and tuition fees? Oh, so that is a good question. So at my grad school was a big state school, so there was not student housing for graduate students. So I just lived in the city. I fortunately was funded through a fellowship. So the fellowship covered my tuition and it also gave me a stipend to live on. So this now is the right time to be looking for and applying for fellowships and scholarships and even reaching out to your grad program where you are or where you're starting soon to ask them what kind of assistantships and fellowship programs they may have as well. All right, I am going to share another goal from a grad student in my Facebook group. So this person says their top two goals, number one, get an A average for this semester, and number two, work on my time management. All right, and then another set of goal, number one, catch up with my schedule, and number two, contribute in my classes. I actually really enjoyed this goal because a lot of people will set the goal of, I want to get a 4.0. I want to make awesome grades. But as you go through grad school, you'll probably start to notice it's not really the grades that matter. Like if you get a PhD, no one's looking at your transcript to see what your grades are, right? It's what are you actually learning? And so one way to learn is how are you participating in your classes? And so I love this person's focus is to contribute in class, talk, speak up during the discussions. That way your professor knows who you are. They know you're active, you care about what's going on in the class. All right. Another goal, Haresa says, maximize my network with both professors, university staff, and peers. That is a wonderful goal because academia is so much about networking, right? So when you make a good impression with your professors and you actually speak to and collaborate with your cohort, it does benefit you in the future. Perhaps you'll be chosen to win a grad student award, or you'll be chosen for an assistantship or to work in someone's lab. And even once you graduate, if you decide to stay in academia, your friends, you can collaborate with them on research, get published together, go to conference together, organize sessions in conferences together. I find that I still talk with my grad school cohort. And I love catching up with them and meeting up with them at conferences and things like that. So definitely a great goal to have. All right, I'll share a couple more goals. And again, if you all have questions, just let me know in the chat. Let's see. This next person says, my top two goals for this semester are one, to complete all assignments on time. Love that. And then to stay in contact with my advisor. All right, so I'm reading these goals, so hopefully you can resonate. So if you hear something that's like aligned with your stage of academia, that's going to be really helpful. It can help you figure out, okay, well, what kind of goals should I be setting at this stage? Because a first year grad student's goals are going to be completely different than a fifth year grad student's goals. Okay, so this next person says, my top two goals are number one, publish the first chapter of my dissertation, and two, prepare for my qualifying exams next semester. All right, next, complete all my assignments on time. And then number two, trust myself, self-confidence. We're going to talk more about self-confidence on Friday in my procrastination burnout masterclass, but self-confidence is so important in this grad school experience because it can kind of break down your self-confidence, especially when you see, oh, well, maybe I don't know as much as I thought I did. Oh no, my grades aren't looking the way I hoped they would. Or I thought I would understand this thing in class, but maybe I don't understand how to write at all. Right. And so this is so funny. So it's not funny, but one of the things we talk about in my focus program is self-confidence. So I have run a program called Focus. It's an accountability and productivity program for grad students. And every month we have a monthly planning session. And in that monthly planning session, we talk about trusting ourselves. I share this quote where it says, self-confidence is the characteristic of someone who trusts themselves. And so you want to always keep promises that you make to yourself so that you trust yourself. And that's exactly how I like to think about the goals that I set. I like to set realistic goals, but also I like to treat every goal that I set as a promise to myself. So I promise to do this thing. I promise to prepare for my classes the day before, or I promise to meet with my mentees once a week, things like that. And so here's the thing about making promises to yourself. If you say that you're going to do something and then you don't follow through and you don't do the thing you say you were going to do, and that becomes a pattern, you start to not trust yourself anymore. And you start to not believe yourself when you set goals for yourself, when you say, oh, I'm going to do this thing. Internally, you're going to be like, well, you didn't do the last thing. So why would you do this thing? And so that makes you lose confidence in yourself. But on the other hand, if you say that you're going to do something and then you follow through, you start to build more and more trust in yourself. So the next time you say that you're going to do something, even if it's challenging, you'll have the self-confidence to know, oh, well, I did the last thing I said I was going to do. I trust myself. I feel confident that I can do this thing, right? So the goals that you set today, I would love it if you would treat them like a promise that you're making to yourself. Okay, so this sounds like a great place to end. So just to recap, choose only top two goals for this semester. And tomorrow we will talk about how to break them down into actionable steps. And I also want to share that my Focus Accountability Program, it is on sale for 35% off this month. So if you want to, or this week. So if you want to join in on our planning session that's happening on Saturday, definitely sign up. Go to theacademicsociety.com/focus, and then you'll see the link. All right, I will see you all tomorrow for day 2 of the challenge. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. And if you're watching the replay, share your thoughts, share your questions. All right, bye.